feel like as an actor, just getting to play a vampire is inherently like very alluring. So what really drew you to this project beyond just, getting to play a vampire, which might be enough in and of itself?
You know, honestly, that kind of is enough in itself for me. Um, but yeah, working with uh, Eros was very appealing as well. The director, he was kind of my first port of call, and we had a really, really nice Zoom meeting. And he was in a train station. He was on a at night. It was very sort of you expected a vampire to swoop in at any moment. He was like, in this Welsh train station platform outside at night, and we had this really lovely, fun sort of conversation. I could have spoken to him for hours. So and also I love his work. And then, finding out that Damian was going to be playing these two characters that in the book actually weren't written as twins. I thought that was a
Oh.
sort of stroke of genius, really.
Yeah, I had no clue that was just for the film. That's an incredible, yeah, stroke of genius, like you said. And I was curious, like Damien's, a really great actor, but how was it working off him? Because his characters couldn't be more different. So how was it getting very different energies from him as a scene partner on the same project? Because that's a very unique situation.
Yeah, it is, but he made it very easy because it was completely obvious before he even spoke who he was dressed as, who he was portraying in certain scenes. We would play everything where the brothers were in a room together. We would play Peter's stuff first, um, and then Damien would run off and get changed. He was pretty harassed, I have to say. He handled it with grace and everything, but he was like being sort of hurried into rooms to do a quick change and back again. It was a bit like, if you were doing a play, like quick changes like that. Um, but the fun aspect really, I mean, for him, getting to play two characters that look the same, like twins, is like, you know, a dream for an actor. But actually playing opposite that is really fun when you've got very diametrically different opinions on the different characters. So Helen, is married to one and can't be in the same room as another. And so that was really fun for me.
Yeah, and the whole situation with the vampires is very interesting too because it's this like addiction and sobriety parallel. What did you like most about just how it was using, vampires? Because this isn't your typical like, oh, they're just blood sucking all their neighbors. This is very different.
No, they're very conscientious abstainers, and what I quite liked about the character Will is that he's just a mess. He doesn't have real love in his life. He's sort of over the whole vampire thing. He's like, um, the drugs don't work anymore. He's uh he pretends it's great just because well, it's all everybody in the film is pretending, basically.
Yeah, and this role is also very interesting for you because you have a lot of emotionally charged scenes, but there's also this really strong humor throughout the film. So how was it kind of like finding that balance? Because you want to be true to the character, but you're also delivering quite a few laughs here.
Yeah, I think it's just about playing it straight, really. I mean, the scenes are written like it's the situations that are quite funny. Um, and yeah, just sort of playing it straight is is the thing to do. I think that was like we knew it was a comedy, but it was still sort of a surprise almost when I got sent a link to the film, and I kind of had forgotten about that, because there's so much, you know, I've played a lot of mothers in my career, and you know, mothers that care and are sad and, struggling, and it was kind of that again. And then just because of the situation, um it becomes kind of hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. You're very funny in it. And um, one thing I found interesting, you did mention that it was unique to the movie that they were twins. Did you actually go back and read the book? Because I've had great actors go both ways on this. Some love to read the source material, some just go purely off the script. So how do you find that balance?
I think oftentimes it's not totally necessary to read the if it's been based on a book, but I generally do, even when it's I did Anna Karenina, and my God, there was like so much farming written about in that book. It was so boring. Chapters of farming. And if you're into that, then but I did my homework. Um, and with this one, I had actually mismanaged my time a bit. So I started the book kind of too close to the start of filming. And by the time we had started shooting, I thought I'm gonna have to just, because I'm learning my lines, I didn't want to be, I wanted to enjoy it more. And I knew everything that I needed to know, it was all there in the script, because it's the film that you're making. It's not, the book.
Yeah.
But then I read the book. I read the book afterwards. But that's I've done similar before.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And you mentioned having that great Zoom call with Euros. But how was it actually working with him? He's such a bright talent.
Oh God, he's amazing. I love him. I kind of my kind of goal when I was shooting was to become his friend, but I don't know if that's happened. I mean, it's always really nice to see him. I saw him a couple of months ago. He came up to Edinburgh to the festival, and it was lovely. But he's just really cool, and he's just so talented. Yeah, and he's so enthusiastic. That's the great thing as well. It was like a really fun set to be on because everybody, it just felt like that lucky thing where every now and then you feel in the room that it's the right people for you. You're all meant to be there. And yeah, and that's down to Eros really. He had a very strong vision, and like even though he had a very strong vision and could tell you any questions you had or what something was going to look like, he was all over it. But he was also super open to like it's a great thing in a director um when they're open to, if you come on set and you're like, what about this, what about that, and um he listens to everything, and he loves it when you're as involved as he is.
Yeah, that's impressive because sometimes it's like one or the other, where, they have a very direct image of what they're doing, or, they are very open. So it's nice that he can balance both of that. And then my last question for you, I just wanted to ask you real quickly about Brave because that movie is still so beloved, and I know some of my friends are parents and their kids love that film. How is it just a decade removed, seeing it's still so beloved, and it's such a great story for kids too.
I think so. She's a very good role model, I think, for particularly for little girls. um I just love the fact that she just isn't interested in suitors. Like, she's not most Disney princesses. It's all about the prince and kind of you know, the prince finding her, and Meredith's like, yeah, she's got no truck with any of that, and it's just, it's about a relationship between a mother and daughter, which is which was kind of novel.